Hey folks, Trubie here. It's Christmas Eve up here at Four Horsemen, and yep, downstairs people are going nuts getting their last minute shopping done. My shopping is done, so instead I'm here to talk to you about Dice Masters. I did it last year, gonna do it this year. Dice Masters 2018 year in review. I'll be doing to talk about campaign play soon. That'll be in my next video, but instead today gonna be like Ebenezer Scrooge. Gonna take a good hard look at the past, present, and future of Dice Masters. So, as the kids say, I'm going to keep it 100. I'm generally very easygoing, and I do love this game very, very much. It is my game. I love it. But this has not been a good year for Dice Masters. Release droughts aren't anything new, but this year's has hit especially hard. So yeah, let's just take a look back at what we got this year and what we had previous years. So I'm going to cover up my beautiful face here for a second. So yes, if we look back at the new non-OP cards released each year for this game, 2014 we had 258 cards, that's non-OP. 2015 684, 2016 756, 2017 682, and 2018 372. A kind of unintentional bell curve there, I'm sure. Let's transition away from that. So yes, and then if we look at our OP cards, out of the 110 OP cards that we've had so far, only one officially came out in 2018, and that was in the Grandball's Fury, which came out right here at the end of 2018. We did have the Brotherhood OP set, which came out in January, I think, but if I'm not mistaken, I think that was delayed, because that is actually officially a Marvel 2017 OP set. So yeah, we officially only had one OP card this year. Now, those numbers do look bad, and this was obviously meant to be like a transition year for the game. I like analogies, and the one I like here is the game is sort of going through its awkward teen years, trying to figure out, who it is, and unfortunately, this is like the delays. I don't know what the inner workings of WizKids are. I don't know the exact reasons for the delays, but the full number of sets that were scheduled for this year, if they'd come out, our new card total would be something closer to 500. Which wouldn't have felt nearly as thin, and we'd be knee deep in our fourth campaign box. We'd all have a good feel for how these releases are going, and there wouldn't be as much uncertainty. But let's look back at what we did get this year, and of the three blocks of releases we got this year, we had some good highlights. So let's go right here and look back at the Thor set. Hulk. Whoops, I switched my logo. I'm not talking about Kill Team here. So yes, the Thor set. We got Mr. Fix-It and Hulk. Mr. Fix-It was quite a big splash in the meta of the game, and Hulk here won a lot of drafts and is a darn fine card. And I think with range, she's going to have probably a new, renaissance with as a prevention of range, or at least a counter to it. Then we had the Avengers Infinity set. We had to fast forward all the way to, what was that actually released? In August? Yeah, August. So, in there we had, Black Widow and we had Wasp. Wasp being the first thing to bring in our attune to the Marvel Universe. Had a new taunt global with Black Widow. That was all great. It was fairly safe set, but it was still fun, and like the Kree Invasion pack was fantastic. That's one of my favorite team packs that's been released so far. And we also had the Harley Quinn team pack released in there, which had great Batman, a couple great Poison Ivies, fantastic basic action with Thrown Brick, probably one of my new default go-tos. I really like that one a lot. And of course, this Harley Quinn here. That is one hell of a great, hilarious situation maker. It's like, oh, you attack? Well, I will block with Harley, get her knocked out, and nuke everything. It has led to some very funny situations in games I've played. So I do like that. I don't necessarily play with it, but every time that someone has had it on their team, I've had a lot of fun going against it. So it's a fun card. And then, of course, just in November, we got 40K. Yes, 40K has been fantastic. It introduced range and frag mechanics and offers a whole lot of fun faction play. The only thing I don't really like about the 40K set is, well, it makes me want all of the 40K factions, which I know realistically isn't going to happen for a really long time. But that said, the next 40K set was just announced. It's currently slated for June 2019, and it will have Blood Angels, which I mentioned in my last video, the vampiric Space Marines, kind of. We'll have the Dark Angels, the Eldar, who I haven't mentioned much, but if you've played StarCraft, they're basically space elves. I think that's the best way to put it, space elves. And then there's presumably some form of Chaos faction in there, something with Slanesh, who is one of the funnest Chaos gods, but we won't go into that yet. I might do a thing on the Chaos gods later. But of all the dumb things, playing with this set has also got me to start playing Warhammer 40K Kill Team, which I love, and I'm sure this is exactly what Games Workshop wanted, is more money going to them from this licensing deal, which has happened. I've bought quite a few Kill Team figures. It's a good game too. But yes, let's pull these lovely cards off the board here. So going back, let's keep it 100. Overall, despite all these great cards, 2018 was a bad year. This should have been the start of Dice Masters 2.0, with a steady flow of campaign boxes, releases, and new opportunities to bring new players to the game. Instead, the transition's been shaky at best and seems to have exasperated a lot of the uncertainty and discomfort of a lot of people who were concerned about the transition to the fixed sets. And a lot of us who have been champions of the game have found ourselves making excuses for it rather than singing its virtues. That's the plain truth. But that's all in the past. Let's look at 2019. So far, we know we're going to be getting the DC Justice set in early 2019 and the X-Men set, both of which are very exciting. The spoilers for those have been looking fantastic. And the next 40K set, presumably in June, if the schedule sticks. And those 3 sets alone are already nearly equal to the entire 2018 card output. Plus, there's going to be the WWE set at some point. We don't know exactly when, don't know what its contents look like, but that is coming out supposedly in 2019. And that's just the announced stuff. Like, that's usually they only announce a few months ahead of time. We only know like the first half of 2019. There could be something else slipped in there. And there's certainly much more in the pipe that we just haven't heard about. Perhaps another D&D set, maybe more Turtles. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, and OP cards. We have a whole bunch of OP coming up very soon. We've got more OP cards just in February than we had of all of last year, which doesn't take a lot. But we've got the new Black Widow, I think it's called the Spies OP set, that's coming in February. There's I can't remember what all the sets were, but there's like 3 OP sets, all Marvel, coming out. There was like there was the Spies, there was one with Iron Man, there's one with Hawkeye. So looking very good. I'm very, very optimistic about our OP this year. So there we have it. 2019 is looking pretty promising. Let's just think of it this way. We just passed the winter solstice, and it's traditionally been a time of rebirth and of the light returning to the sun. And now we can look forward to the rebirth of Dice Masters and the light returning to it in 2019. And that, my friends, is the most New Age hippie talk you're going to get out of me. Now, if I can get one thing from Santa this year, it'd be a year without product delays. Thanks for watching, and next time we're going to talk about campaign play. So, see you then.